don't know, man. I feel like we're all hungry. We're just hungry in different ways. You know what I mean?
Mm.
For example, like, bro, TikTok stars. That's hunger in a different version. Like they want that fame, they want that notoriety, they want to be known, they want to be viral. Like that is hunger in a sense, in a term, right? Maybe down the line, it's also a financial thing because it's an easy way for you to get rich. I mean, not saying content creation is easy at all, but like it's a fun way for you to make a living, right? And
Mm.
so maybe the hunger is that they want to enjoy their lives while maintaining balance. And it's hard, man, because like I can't say our generation is fully just not hungry because I know dogs out there. I left the instructions in the damn thing.
Welcome to 20s in Progress with Stephen Ha. I'm your host, Stephen Ha, and today I have another really good friend of mine, Toki, or professionally
Toki.
known as, I was going to say Toki, but yeah, no, Toki is a really good friend of mine. We also met at my last employer. I haven't told them where I work, Toki, so
Yeah.
feel free to mention. I told them if I told them I would kill them. But anyways, without further ado, I'll let Toki introduce himself.
What's up? My name's Toki. Like I said, I'm one of Steven's friends. I think we clicked pretty early on when I first met him because we're both kind of weird in terms of our backgrounds and being at the place that we were at.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a good segue. So my first question that I ask all my guests is, where would you describe yourself in your 20s right now? Where are you at in your 20s? So how old are you? And then just kind of what would you describe this phase of your 20s?
Ooh, bro. All right. So I'm 27, right? You
I
know,
don't think I never knew. Oh, I guess, wait. That makes sense. Oh my God, that makes sense
no, I'm
because
27.
you're 27, I'm turning 26. Oh my God, we're getting old. Okay, sorry, continue.
No,
Yes, you're
dude, that's
27.
exactly it. I feel old. It's at the stage now. It's like late 20s, so it's like the excitement of like college is gone. The excitement of your first job. It's like responsibilities and stuff. No, man, like, you're getting old, and you realize like I got to get my shit together. You know what I mean? And
That's real.
I'm still in my headspace of like, bro, no, I know I'm not young, but like, people tell me I'm young, but bro, I don't feel young no more. I know that I have to start getting shit straight.
That makes sense. I guess 27, you're the first 27-year-old that I've interviewed on this podcast. Mm, I interviewed my mentor last episode who was 28, who's now 29, and then I'm 25, turning 26. And so how does it feel to be 27? You're kind of right in the middle of our late 20s. Uh, I guess to your point, like you're feeling a little older, responsibilities are coming. Are you excited about it? Are you kind of just intrigued by it all? Like, how are you feeling?
Man, if anything, I think I'm worried.
Hmm.
You know, like I said, the excitement part is that was early 20s. That was fun. Now it's like, okay, like dude, like a bunch of my buddies are getting married. And I've been with Sherry for 10 years, but like we're still not married. You know, like why are y'all getting married so quick? Like I don't own a house, I don't have a car, you know what I mean? So it's like people are having kids, you know what I mean? Like it's there's a lot going on, man. And it's just like I don't is comparison is a thief of joy. But like at this point, I feel like as you're approaching 30, like now is the last time in my life that I gotta figure out like, okay, like should I lock in or can I still mess around? And I think I'm in that
It's
state.
that like, yeah, so it's like that next big milestone where, like, to your point, like comparison is a thief of joy, but at 30, or like once you hit 30, it's almost like a checkpoint where you kind of evaluate everyone else. It's like, okay, where everyone else is in their 30s. I have a couple follow-up questions to that. I guess my first kind of thought is, or question to you is, as your friend, I kind of known where you've been in the last 4 or 5 years. Oh my God, we've been friends for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like you've accomplished a lot. Like, I think, for example, for those who don't know you, who's listening to this, you've spent the 2.5, 3 years in Atlanta working at our former employer. Then you went to Miami, and then, you did that for a year, and then you just graduated from Oxford University, where you got your master's, where you also play football. So Do you feel like reflecting on your 20s, and please feel free to fill in any gaps so far, like, do you feel like you haven't done enough? Do you like, what is the fear that you're feeling?
I mean, listen, like, it's aspirational, right? Like, back in the day, it's like, yo, Imma retire my mom, buy her a house, buy her a car, live on a yacht. You know what I mean? At this point in my life, it's like, I've kinda woken up, it's like, "You know what? Maybe I should just be comfortable." You know?
Mm,
Maybe I should just like, bro, I know at this point in my life, like, I could probably live just a decent, comfortable, upper middle class life, right?
interesting.
But, like, in the back of my head, it's like, "Bro, that was never you." Like, you've always wanted more, you always wanted to do more. I didn't think I'd even be corporate, but now it's just like, I got a taste of it, and I'm like, "You know what? I got responsibilities now, so maybe I should just play it safe." It's
Yeah,
weird. It's not like I haven't accomplished it, like, on paper, sure, but, like, internally, do I feel like? Maybe not, and that's weird to say in a way, because like, I didn't even think I'd go to undergrad to begin with. Never mind a master's. My mom still thinks it's hilarious that I somehow have a master's.
from Oxford, like, just not no regular masters, like, you got your masters from Oxford.
Yeah,
No, so what was that switch like? I guess, like, let's start with, like, where do you think that kind of desire for, like, higher aspirations have come from? And then I guess, like, what was that switch and how'd you get to that switch? Because I think for a lot of 20-year-olds, like 20 something year olds, like we're like, especially for you and I who come from interesting backgrounds where like much of our childhood, like we kind of had to just kind of figure it out. Right. And so we kind of followed the American dream of go get rich, and I think we've chased that given our former employer, and we got the little taste, as you say. And I think the golden handcuffs that people famously say becomes a lot stronger, and we become obsessed with it even more. But I guess I had that realization recently. It's interesting to hear you say that you made that realization, especially given what I know about you. So, what was that switch? Or, like, speak more to why the change of heart.
I guess, man, like my mom's getting old. You know, I can tell she's getting older. My friends are all getting married. People are having kids. Like deep down inside, I'm still like a youngin. You know what I mean? Like I have dreams, I have wants, but it's like at this point, it's like, dude, you've lived your life. Like you gotta make sure that you're good for the rest of it now, man. Because like at this point, there's no safety net.
Hmm.
You know, there's nothing to really fall back to, and like that's what I kind of realized. It's like at this point, if I mess up now, like, can I really? I mean, bro, you can call it back up, but it's just significantly harder, in my personal
Yeah,
opinion. Like, if you mess up now, if you don't lock in now, I mean, like, you're just messing yourself up for the future. So it's like, play it safe.
for sure. And just to kind of stay on the topic, coming for where we both kind of come from, like obviously you grew up in Atlanta, I grew up in Houston, and like slightly different backgrounds, but speak to how that has shaped how you view what you're looking for, right? Like I think you said a couple minutes ago, you're like, I don't have a house, I'm not married, which we'll get back to that topic, but and so like I guess how do you determine what you want out of this stage of your life? Kind of, do you feel like you have a better idea of what the world is because you've experienced so much recently, and then now you have a better idea of what Toki wants versus what Toki should want? Is that kind of the thinking?
That's hard, man. I think it's more so like I've just gotten mature enough to the point where I realize what's needed for me to be comfortable.
Say
Yeah.
more. Like what is comfortable? Like I think comfortability is something that we all chase, but we don't really know what it is. And so
Yeah. And it very much is relative, right? Like what I thought was comfort back in the day and what comfort is now is completely different. Like, bro, when I was 15, 16, you could have asked me, yo, what's comfort for you? I'd be like, I could live off my boy's couch for the rest of my life and be happy. You know what I mean? And now it's like, shit, I like nice things. You know? I like it. And it at the point of life that we're at, you and me both, like we can live comfortable lives. And that's a blessing that most people I think won't be able to say. You know what I mean? Like we're truly blessed, and I am grateful for everyone and everything that has allowed me to get to the place where I am today. And that's more so like I guess what's keeping me from doing something stupid, right? It's like, yo, I've given up a lot. People have given up a lot to get to the point that I am in right now. Do I risk it? You know,
Mm.
like, do I blow it on something stupid? Like that will always eat away at me at the back of my mind. And I guess that makes it harder to pull the trigger on just doing things, quitting a job. Like, bro, I want to be a DJ. I don't know how to DJ, but like I was at Tomorrowland, man, and I was like, bro, like this would be cool. This
For
life,
what it's worth, I think you would be a great DJ. I think you have the personality for it. I think people would rock with you for sure.
I
I
appreciate.
guess so. I mean, so how do you find that balance then? How do you? Because I've kind of also, as you know, have been similar, and we haven't talked much about my New York phase. Given that I work a 9 to 5 now, and I
Yeah,
think somebody told me was like, "Yo, man gets work life balance and finds hobbies." Like I started DJing. I don't know how to DJ still, but I started DJing. I started playing the piano. I go on walks. I start running. But I also kind of feel the same fear that you feel of like, I'm thinking of, after this externship is over, you know, how does that look like going back and things like that and losing the 9 to 5 and do I lose my hobbies? But I also think about the life that we were able to live. And like today, I flew to see my sister, which hence the different background. I got upgraded to first class. And I was like, I miss this life. I haven't traveled in like 5 months. And I was like, I miss this life of the bouginess. And so, yeah, like how do you feel, I guess, you know, the right balance is? I think that is probably one of the bigger questions that we ask ourselves in our 20 somethings, especially our late 20s, is like, I think you've had to find balance. And a lot of 20 something year olds say that, like these is just finding balance across everything in your life. And so, how do you find that balance?
man, I don't think there is balance. I think the 20s are supposed to be a grind. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Because like again, by the time you're in your 30s, in your 40s, you don't want to be that guy that just got left in the dust. That's probably one of my biggest fears is like looking back, I'm like, dude, I could have done more. I don't want that regret in my life of like looking back, like let's say I had a kid, wish I could get this kid lessons to whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that feeling of like I could have done more to do better today.
Interesting.
So I mean, and like yeah, bro, everyone needs a break. Like to be honest, like I right now, all I do is play pickleball. Like I play pickleball for 4 hours a day, hit the infrared sauna, and then I watch Netflix until I have to start working again, right? And like I love it. It's great. I can see myself getting into a pattern of just doing the stuff that I like to do, but I know like it will come at a cost later on. Uh, and I don't know.
But
It's hard to say.
yeah, I mean, the reason why I ask is like, I think that is definitely something the long lasting debate that I hope, we stop having to answer in our 30s is how much do I work and how much do I play? But I think it's an equal mix of both. Like, I think some people tell me now like, I look happier. And so, like, I think, and it's because I'm able to chase my hobbies. And I think you sound happier when you talk about pickleball. And like, that was something you did in Miami. And like, that's something that like you want to keep doing. And so, in my mind, I feel like the objective is to find balance and to just do it in like doses, right? Like you like pickleball, maybe the right thing to do is pickleball on the weekends when you're traveling Monday through Thursday again. And so that's just how I feel. But like, I guess, are you saying,
It's so to be honest, man, like in my opinion, if you love what you do and you're passionate about what you do and work is not work, you've won,
hmm,
right? Because then like you don't really need like you're loving what you're doing. You just have hobbies outside of that as well. And people who have that, fantastic. For people who don't, like again, it's like aspirationally, like, do I like playing pickleball now? Yes. 30 years from now, would I rather be in like Italy in like my fifth house that I've bought,
that does
probably
sound
like that
nice.
for, you know what I mean? So it's like, there's always a trade-off of like investing in yourself now versus later. And again, it's like, I think that's the biggest thing. Like I turned 27 in Oxford and I like kind of sat and I was like, bro, it's time to lock in. Like I can't be.
But like, but for me, That sentence in of itself is like, cool. It's you turn 27 at Oxford. You turn 26 in Miami. Like, I think for me, what I think kind of the trick is to our 20s is this like reframing. A consultant would say like it's like how do we frame how we look at things? It's like, you know, one can say, and especially the people that you grew up and we grew up with, it's like ideally you did accomplish a lot. Like they're like you grinded the last 7 years, which is why you're in the position that you're in. And so I guess my question to you is how high is high? Have you determined that for you? Because I think that was something that I've really struggled with. Is I say this on every episode, but they didn't tell you how much is rich. And so have you answered that? Is it the 5 houses in Italy? Is it just 1 house in Atlanta? How high is high, and how hard do you have to grind to get to where you think you should be, and where do you wanna go?
I mean, what I will say is, number one, there's like macroeconomic factors at play too, right? Like just us trying to buy a home right now is
Terrible.
even with our salaries, man, it's not. You can,
Terrible.
and again, I think it's just like as you get older and as you mature and as you realize certain things are just not worth the juice, like you just kind of, not to say you shouldn't pursue the things you want to pursue. It's just like, I think you have to level set every once in a while of like, because think about it, man. As kids, we're like, yo, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be, you too. You wanted to be the president, right? Like, I wanted to be a musician for the longest time. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a chef, which to be honest, I've tried doing. And it's more so that just I realized it's not enough to sustain a lifestyle without getting lucky and making it big. Right?
Hmm.
So I think it's just like you level set of like, okay, probably not gonna be the first president, astronaut, like Navy SEAL person. And then it's like, okay, I made it corporate. Like maybe I'm not cut out to be a CEO, right? And,
Hmm.
and then it's like, you know what? I'm happy with the work that I have. I'm glad that I enjoy my work and I can just, live life making an impact where I see fit and where I can. And it's kind of scary. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's reality, and that's what's hitting me is reality, and that reality is what's scary because deep down inside, man, like, I still wanna chase my dreams. That's never gonna go away, it's just swallowing that pill of shit gets real.
Yeah. I actually would love your thoughts on this. I recently had a conversation with a couple of other 20-something-year-olds, and I feel like something that we talked about was, like, our generation just seems a little less hungry,
Nah,
or some of us. I think some of us, what we relate to is, like, I think our generation's a little less hungry because our parents had to come to America and they, quote, unquote, "may have made it," at least for a lot of other 20-something-year-olds, like, I can't say my mom has, and so I think that, is why people are hungry, right? Like, our parents came to America and was hungry to make the American dream work, and so but, like, because they didn't accomplish that, like, it has kind of led us to be as hungry as we are, but I think seeing some of our peers are a little bit more selective with, "I don't like this place, I can leave," or "This place is not, paying me enough or is conducive to my growth, and so I can leave." And so I've been kind of back and forth of what is the right mindset to have? Is the right mindset to have
pause, bro.
what are
Be honest, though. Those people, do they have something to fall back on?
Exactly, and I think that's what I'm saying, is, like, they have the luxury of falling back on something, and so they have the luxury to, like, push through things, and so, like, for you and I, we feel like sometimes, like, it is up to us to kinda just push through the moment and not really kind of and just, like, kinda accept things for the way they are, and to your point, like, be a little bit complacent of, like, maybe this is how adulting is, this is what your 30s and your 20s are supposed to be, and so I have to kinda suck it up in a sense, and so do you feel the same way? How are you kind of reacting to it and addressing it as well?
Man, like, the first thing I think of again is, like, I don't wanna let my mom down. You know what I mean? And you're right, like, she's done a lot to sacrifice in her own life and the things that she's wanted in her dreams to get me where I am now, right? That will be number 1 always is like, dude, she gave up. The least I can do is make sure that I can make her proud, number 1, but 2, like, I just wanna make sure that she can now live a comfortable life, which, to be honest, like, even with where I'm at right now is extremely difficult. 2, it's like, I don't know, man, I feel like we're all hungry, we're just hungry in different ways, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I For example, like bro, TikTok stars. That's hunger in a different version. Like they want that fame, they want that notoriety, they want to be known, they want to be viral. Like that is hunger in a sense, in a term, right? Maybe down the line, it's also a financial thing because it's an easy way for you to get rich. I mean, not saying content creation is easy at all, but like it's a fun way for you to make a living, right? And
Mm,
so maybe the hunger is that they want to enjoy their lives while maintaining balance. And it's hard, man, because like I can't say our generation is fully just not hungry because I know dogs out there. There are dogs out there, bro. You included. Well, there are dogs out there, and you can't deny that.
that's true.
The people who don't got it as good as us, like they're still hungry. They have stuff in the pipeline. To be fair, they've had stuff in the pipeline since high school that hasn't really become anything yet. But there's always something in their head of like, yo, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm trying to get out of this, I'm trying to do this. Like
That's true.
there's something there. It's just different. Again, I think it's relative what hunger is, man. Because people are shaped by different things, and people see different things, and people want different things. So it's hard for you to say no one is hungry. We just want
That's
different things.
I think that's fair. I think what I was more so trying to say is I feel like, and actually I was in an Uber headed home from one of the work trips. Lots of Uber conversations. But I remember this particular Uber conversation. The Uber driver looked back at me and was like, "Oh, where you're coming from?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm coming back from a work trip." And she was like, "Dang, like, how was it?" I was like, "Yeah, I worked an 80-hour work week this week." She's like, "Wait, how is that possible?" She's like, "There's only 24 hours in a day." And I was like, "Exactly. I worked an 80-hour work week." And she was like, "What is can I just ask you a candid question?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she was like, my daughter is your age and she's on her third or fourth job. Like, if you tell her right now to go work an 80-hour work week, like, she will look at you crazy and laugh. But she's really smart. She has accomplished all these things, but that's not what she wants to do. And she's like, what do you think is wrong?" And I was like, and I think the thing that we circled on after a long conversation in the Uber was I think our generation is both plagued but also benefits from a surplus of options. I think you ask our parents or people in our parents' generation, like my mom's been a nail tech for 20 plus years. She hates doing nails. If you're one of my mom's clients, she doesn't hate the client's aspect. She hates doing the actual nails, like that. Like it's long hours. You have to sit. You bend over. It's bad. Like the smells make her head hurt. But she's done it for 20 years, and now like she just kind of sucked it up. And so I feel like our generation, at least, what I was trying to say is some parts of our generation are the 20-something-year-olds right now are just plagued and overwhelmed to an extent, or also as an like that is our safety net is that we live in a society in a generation of options. So even us, I know I'm going to be good regardless of whatever happens because I live in a society surplus of options. Like if I get fired tomorrow with my resume and realistically of my hunger and my tenacity, like I will be okay. Am I going to be making as much money as I'm making right now? Probably not. But like, am I going to be okay? Like, am I going to be a quote unquote bum? Most probably not. And so I think that's what I mean when I say our generation sometimes lacks the hunger is that because when there isn't a feeling of sacredness or a feeling of scarcity, we become less hungry. And so, but I think there's on the flip side, it's like some of us, like we live in a really bad, shitty US economy right now. And
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say,
the
like,
job market sucks. So
there's a lot of societal things in play too, right? And that's hard to kind of factor in, right? It's like number one, like, bro, I read the news, and to be honest with you, like, I don't think that's great because like it's just so scary and like bad. It's just like
literally,
I remember like one of the headlines was like Harvard grads can't get jobs anymore, right? Or like 2025 is like the worst hiring year for college grads or whatever it may be. And it's just like at this point, everything's expensive. It's hard to get a job. AI is supposedly taking over the freaking world. Like, what do you expect as someone who's young, right? Of like, bro, like, where's the life that I imagine that I would have? Like, I see it being easy for people to give up. On the flip side, you see who the real dogs are, man. Cause like when it comes to that point, it's like the ones who are gonna grind it out will grind it out. And maybe that's a difference that you'll see is like instead of people just being semi-hungry all across the board, like the people who are hungry are like way up here. And the people who aren't get just left behind. And I feel like that's what I was kind of saying even now. It's like, bro, I gotta lock in. Because at this point, it's like, should I make sure that I set my life up or do I just, you know what I mean? Again, man, like it's just there's so much societal thing. It's hard to say what's pushing it. Like for example, like you talk about Ubers and an 80-hour work week being crazy. I can tell you the number of Ubers I've talked to, man, that have been working the max amount of hours that Uber allows them to drive.
No, I was saying I worked an 80-hour work week, and the lady asked me about my 80-hour work week. But I agree. I've met Uber drivers who
Bro, some of the hardest working guys there is, man. Like they
I
out there
agree.
grinding. Like
And I think that's the benefit. Like, I think that's the benefit of the world that we live in, right? Like, I think to your point, like, if everything fails, like corporate America goes bankrupt tomorrow, like, I can go do Uber Eats, and I know for a fact because of the dog that I got in me, I'm gonna be the best Uber driver in whatever area that I'm
yeah,
in.
five rating.
I worked at Champs and Finish Line growing up. Like, if I go back, like, if there's a day where I need to go back and become like a store manager at a Foot Locker, my store is going to be the best store in the district. And so I think to your point, I agree with you. Like, I think some of it is there's a need for hunger at this stage. And like, I think that is something that 20 something year olds have to kind of figure out is like what it drives and fuels your hunger in this type of period of, in this kind of like pivotal decade of your life, what kind of makes you sink or swim or rise to the top is whether or not you're hungry.
Here's something
I
else I'll add too. Now it just
Yeah,
popped into my mind. So I've been with my girl for 10 years. I'm not gonna get into it, but a lot of who I am today and where I am today is because of her. And now that has fallen upon me of like, bro, the other day I was like, Sherry, she loves like the Porsches, right? The 911 is her dream car. And she like drops hints all the time. She's like, that's a sexy. And I'm like, bro, you know
and
what?
there's a lot of them in the apartment. So Toki is staying at my apartment right now in Atlanta, and there's a lot of them, dude. I get you because when I was there, when I lived there, I was like, I want to bend.
So no, but it's like, dude, lifestyle inflation, bro. Like you start seeing nice things, you're around nice things, and all of a sudden you want nice things.
Mm.
But like, bro, I told her, I'm like, bro, I'll get you one. Don't worry about it. And like, I want to be able to support her. She works, all right. Now she's technically supporting. Now there's that responsibility of like, yo, I want to make sure that she's good. And she said, I want to make sure my dog is good. Boof, he's all.
Shout out, Boof.
Well, I gotta make sure he's getting old, man. Like he needs checkups. Vets are expensive. His special diet's expensive. His treats are expensive, man. Like, but all that to say, it's like another societal thing. It's like, bro, people just aren't dating nowadays. Look, I think about this all the time, man. If I were to be single right now, I have no idea what the fuck to do. Like,
It's scary.
I was with her before Tinder and like Bumble and all these things were a thing. I have no idea how that works. And now apparently it's already dead. So like now what do people do? You know, and like, there's this whole
Bro, I don't know. I don't know. I feel you.
and so like it's one of those things of like I think that's another like I'm pretty one day, bro, you'll have someone like Googling stuff for you, but like I wanna say like we're what, like the loneliest generation, like the least coupled up, the least with
100%.
kids, whatever it is, like
Yep.
those automatically are responsibilities that you as an individual step up to want to make sure that are covered. You feel me? And like
Mm.
if you don't have that, like bro, it'd be so much easier for me to be a bum if Sherry wasn't around. I say that now, and like maybe I would be hungrier. Who knows? It's just the dog in you, man. Like a part of me might be like, I need to get my stuff together, bro, and like get out there and be, be doing good
Yeah.
and finding someone. But like at the same time, I could see it going the other way of just giving up and being like, man, like what? You know what I mean? And like maybe that's part of it.
I get you. I mean, as you know, like I'm experiencing both sides. I was in a long-term relationship. I met my girlfriend at the time at 20. We broke up at 24, or I guess when I was turning 24. And like, I don't know what to do. Like, it's dating, especially in New York and in Atlanta and these like big metropolitan cities, has been like, scary. Like, I'm like, you get dating fatigue or you just kinda, like, the
Bro, I
connection
don't
is
even know
not
what that
there, like
means. I don't even know what that means.
yeah, dog, it's scary, like, I don't wish that upon you, but at the same time, though, to your point of, like, would you still be hungrier? Like, I think it's flipped. Like, I think when I was in the relationship, as you know, like, I was like, "I'm gonna buy a ring."
Yeah.
She who shall not be named on this podcast, in case she does listen to this, her favorite car was also a Porsche. Like, it was a baby blue Porsche Cayenne, and I was like, "I'm gonna get it for you." And I think now being single, I start asking myself those questions. Like, you and I like nice things. Like, we both wear, like, we love our Supreme, we like our kind of, like, expensive clothes, our luxury things. But I think you and I, like, you drove around a Cadillac in the year 2023, 2024, and, like, to some, they were like, "Bro, like, that was so 2011," and you were like, "Nah, like, you loved your Cadillac,"
Bro,
and,
I
like
had 212s in the back. I was bumping. I don't give a fuck what people thought, man. I love
yeah.
them.
I loved my Honda. I love my Honda Accord. I mean, I wanted a better car at some point, but, like, it was never like, I still had appreciation for my Honda, and I think me being single now, like, that has kind of applied to a lot of aspects of my life. Like, you're staying in my apartment in Atlanta, and I'm in New York in a studio apartment that, like, today I was like, "Bro, this I can't live in this box anymore." And, like, honestly, anyone like Jasmine came to my apartment was like, "Bro, this is a really big studio." And I was like, I can't, dog. I want a room, but, like, it also kinda has taught me that I don't need the luxury, the grandiose
Yeah.
19th floor, but, like,
High,
I do
high
wanna
ceilings, bro.
speakers in the in the ceiling, like, no, I
Range
don't need all
power.
that. I just need simple things. I know, like, I need a one bedroom, but I don't need, like, a super crazy one bedroom, and then I bought the lights, the TV lights for my TV in New York. Like, it's, like, simple things that give me joy that I don't think I would have been able to figure that out while being in the relationship, but I do agree with you that, like, that is also a scary kind of thing in the back of your mind as you get older. It's like, okay, maybe I do have to lock in. Like, I saw a TikTok a couple days ago. It was like, the reason why our generation sucks at dating is because like, we're so caught up trying to find perfect. And, like, I think that also kind of adds to the whole, I think our generation is blessed and cursed with options. Like, I, like, saw the TikTok and they were talking about how, like, people our age are on social media talking about, like, a strict program, and it's like, to your point of as a person who's been in the relationship for 10 years, y'all aren't perfect. There are things that probably annoy each other about, like, both like, each other about each other, but, like, you learn to, like, push through those things. I think as a person who's been in a long-term relationship, like, you end up kind of pushing through certain things and, like, maybe you subconsciously, like, end up ignoring it because you love that person so much and you, like, realize, like, the gravity of losing that person. And so I
I mean,
think
but wait, so hold on. I don't think it's losing them. I think it's more so losing yourself. Cause like if y'all truly love each other, like through sickness and in health, right? For bad or for good, if
somebody's been practicing their vows.
not it's rom-coms, fam. Well, listen, like in the deepest of my heart, I know if I were to become a bum now, Sherry would hate it. But like it's not something that she would love me still. You know what I mean? And like she's gonna slap me and tell me to get my shit straight because she loves me, but she's not gonna just dump me all of a sudden because I became a bum, right? She's gonna push me through that. But on your statement about like the hunger, man, the dangerous thing about this though is that like with people who grind as much as we do, it's hard to maintain relationships, right? And it's like at a certain point, it's like, do I? And I actually know, you know this better than I do. Probably, it's like, yo, I just want to spend time with my girl, right? Like that's what brings me. And like, dude, there's a lot of things that bring me happiness, but on a day-to-day basis, that's probably number one. So like, bro, that is like the balance that I maybe try to find. And like,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like, man, if you're not aligned on that, like it's hard. Like Sherry knows, like she knows I'm aiming high. And so like when I was traveling, she was like, I get it. You know what I mean? At the same time, when we get back, it's like we don't leave the couch because it's like, yo, we haven't seen each other in forever. Like we're just gonna rock together and not do nothing.
I get it, dog. I get it. I guess my follow-up question to that is how do you like as a person who's been in a long-term relationship, y'all are still going strong, what would you kind of say to the 20 something year old that is trying to balance love and grind? Like I think you've said like you want to go achieve and buy the 5 houses in Italy, but you also love being around your girl. And so I actually was thinking about you guys today, which is actually kind of cool that we did this podcast. I was like, oh my God, like when Toki goes to work in February, I don't think there's been a time period where you were working a very demanding job. Sherry's job has also picked up significantly lately too. And so as two individuals who are hungry and trying to achieve that goal and that like, we want to buy 10 houses in Italy and have 10 kids and things like
Shit ain't
that.
happening in
Like
10 years, bro.
how do how do you I guess like what are your thoughts on that next phase of your life and like how are you guys finding balance between, grinding while still keeping yourself grounded in your relationship and finding time to date each other and still be there for your significant other? Cuz I like granted like
Yeah.
I could never find that balance. Like, I remember the last fight that we had, I was just like, "I can't give you more." And that, like, line has low-key kinda haunted me for a while. It's like, you know how
It's
much I
scary, bro.
loved
That's
she who
scary.
shall not be named,
Yeah.
and for me to look at her while we're driving, and I was just like, "I can't give you more." And granted, there's a lot of things going on. Like, I think that was me hitting a wall of, like, I wanted to grind. I smelled being managed like, I was being successful at the job for the first time, and, like, things were rolling. But, like, as a result, I was being less there for the person that I, like, loved, and so that was kind of, like I never was able to find that balance, and so I guess, like, what are your thoughts on it, and kinda how are you feeling about it?
Me and Sherry are special in the way that, number one, like, I think about this all the time, bro. Like, I've been dating her since she was 15. It's been 10 years, right? Think about back to when you were 15, right? I think she was a sophomore in high school. We literally grew up together. Like, in 5 years, we would have spent half of her life dating each other. Half of her life, bro. To be honest, like, the first year I was working at McKinsey, her mom passed, right? And, like, that was difficult, not just for her, but for me as well. Like, I loved her mom, and, like, taking on that emotional, like, strain was difficult, bro. And that was probably a very hard time for the both of us. And so, like, with the demanding job, man, it's like I feel like we can get through it. We can get through it. Like, I'm not stressed about that. Now, what will I say about the masses, bro? Like, good luck. And, like, I don't like I said, if it wasn't, I don't think I could do it. Like,
Yeah.
I truly, especially with where I'm at right now in life, like, Sherry's not just a partner, man. She's a rock. She's support. And I don't think people are automatically a rock and a support to you. They got their own shit going on. You got your own shit going on. Like, it's hard to become supportive and, like, kind of build that into your routine and to who you are. Like I said, man, like, it's hard out there for people, and, like, I get it, and I'm lucky and I'm happy, but, like, good luck. I don't know. Like, that's just hard.
But I guess the question more so is, like, I guess when you and Sherry had these conversations of finding balance, right? Like, to your point, when you were traveling and she was at home, she was like, "I get it." And I guess it's kinda similar as she's traveling now and you're at home playing pickleball with Boof, you're like, "I get it." And so like, I guess what the advice be of, like, how did those conversations occur of, you guys have found a way to support each other and, it's also seems like as you guys enter this next
Yeah.
phase where you guys are both working demanding jobs, you guys will also figure that out. So I guess what is the advice to people who are trying to navigate that situation with their significant other now or trying to date now? How do you have that conversation with your significant other, and what does that conversation look like?
So I think the main roadblock here is just alignment and acknowledgement of your goals and your aspirations and where you want to be. Like, Sherry's an expensive girl, man. She likes nice things. I get that. I do too, low key. So it's like we both know that we have to grind to be able to do and have the things that we want, right? And we kind of understand now it's like we can grind and get there. Like, that's a possibility. So, like, we're okay with the sacrifices that need to be made to do that. Now here's something else though. It's like, where do passions fall into it? Right. And, like, that's maybe a harder conversation. For example, like, I think Sherry could be making much, much more as, like, being like a real estate agent or doing something in corporate. right? Being in sales. Like she's a people person. Like I think she would make, honestly, like I have thoughts that one day she'll probably make more than me if she's in the right position. But right now, she loves what she does, right? It doesn't pay as much, but she absolutely loves what she does. And it, like, honestly, like she probably works the same hours that we did, right? And that's the
Yeah.
conversation that we've been having. I'm like, man, like, I get that you love what you're doing, but like, our goals are here. And that's a hard conversation to have. Like, I, I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. And like, to
Yeah.
be fair, I'm supportive of everything she does. I do. It's just management of those expectations now of like, we're shooting here. Maybe we got to aim here.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Is like I think it's realignment. I think that's something that I've realized, like personally, and maybe that's something that I take into my next relationship. Is like sometimes like you have to have those checkpoints of like, hey, when we first initially joined this relationship, at that stage in our life, we were aiming here, but like now that we've grown up essentially and found our interests and our passions, maybe we don't have to have 5 houses in Italy. Maybe we have one house in Italy, and we can have kids to fill up the houses because we're actually happy and love each other. Um,
Goal setting now.
no, yeah, I think that's a really fair advice, and I think that's something that anyone that's listening to this can also say or take into their own personal life, whether you're single or in a relationship, is like you have to level set with yourself. You have to level set with your partner. You have to level set with your friends of like at some points in time, it calls for different aspirations. It causes for different type of dog, right? Like you don't pull out the Rottweiler all the time. Like maybe you get a I don't know dogs. I don't know why I started down this analogy, but like you get what I'm saying. Like it's like you just level setting with yourself of like I don't need to be as hard on myself because I think being here versus here is just okay. Like and ha-
But man, this is what I'm saying. If your partner is not aligned with you or does not acknowledge that, that's where it becomes hard. And I think you know this better than me of like the misalignment of your aspirations and what
100%.
you want. You know what I mean? And like that is probably what the bigger problem is in my mind is like, bro, if you can't see eye to eye or they don't allow you to pursue that and they kind of hold that against you and like they don't support you to the full extent that they can and you don't, and I think that's why we work so well together is like we both acknowledge and see each other for
Yeah,
what we want to be.
I definitely agree because I think my ex, respect where she's coming from. Like I don't think I think she was complacent with kind of buying a house, but not like a really big house. I think at the time I really wanted like a big house. Like I drove by those houses in North Atlanta, and I was like, "Yeah, I need one. I need me one of these." But I think something that I've realized recently is like you need alignment with the right person at the right time. And so, like when you're in a relationship, what you look for is a person that's willing to align, like to realign with you and kind of level set with you, and kind of get back on the same page. Because I think what maybe this is different for you is something that I wish that we could have done or should have done is like at different points in your life, especially in your 20s, when you're in a long term relationship in your 20s, you're learning about yourself. Like, you're learning about things that you're interested in. You're exploring the world, you're experiencing the world in a different way. And so your aspirations and your goals change. And you need a partner that's willing to kind of level set with you and being saying, hey, like, you know, we used to shoot here, but like I experienced people who are here who are unhappy and I value happiness. And so let's shoot for here. But that also means maybe we don't get a Porsche. Maybe we get a Kia. Like and Kias are fire right now. You know what I'm saying? Like or maybe we get a Toyota instead of a Lexus. Like and that's okay because we spend our money on like vacations and things like that. And so does that resonate with you? Is that kind of how you feel you and Sherry are? Of just like, as you kind of experience life differently, I think even personally, I would say hearing you talk, you no longer want these crazy, I want to be filthy, disgustingly rich. I think you want to kind of be here. And so, like, how has that kind of been level setting with Sherry, who for
Now,
maybe the
um,
first 5 years?
to be honest, I'm still all the way up here, bro. I'm reaching for the top.
Interesting.
I want that, man. Like, of course, who wouldn't?
You also say you want happiness and you like want to play pickleball. So,
So that's the dilemma that I'm having, right? Is like level setting of like, yo, okay, where can I actually go? Like, this is what I want. But like I said, I know I'm not Navy SEAL material, bro. Like, what? what are my skills and what can I do? And like, how can I find that balance at this point? Right?
Mm. So it's like matching what you now realize that you're good at and what like you are a little bit more aware of yourself and with your aspirations, like being more realistic with your aspiration.
Being real with it. But like, don't get it twisted, man. I'm still aiming for the top. Of course I am.
There's varying levels of top though. Like I don't need to be like Elon Musk rich. Like I get you. I don't want it. I don't think they're happy. I don't think you look at those types of people, it's
Man,
they're not
look,
happy.
I disagree. Right? And
The
here's
divorce rate for the top 10 richest people in the world, I can't think of one of the like rich person in the top 10 Forbes top 10 list who has been with their significant other as long because at some point you have to make a sacrifice at certain levels to your point where you're realizing there are certain levels where you have to overly make a sacrifice of one way or the other, whether that's your personal life or grinding. And I think that's something that we've really circled on.
but
Trust me,
bro, they love the
who
grind. They love the grind, bro. Tell me I'm wrong, man. Like Elon Musk, like Tesla is his baby, bro. His mission,
but is
and
he
bro,
happy?
I don't know Elon, but like
But he's not happy, bro.
in my truest of hearts, bro, I think when you're saying about like divorce rates and all that, like Tesla's like his, and
Just saying.
most parents will take their kids over their partner if it came to that decision. And like it sounds weird, but to certain people like that, like that's their life, their legacy. That's what they love. And so I
And that's what they
understand,
okay, I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? And like, bro, for them, passion is doing what they're doing to get them rich. Like, I respect that. And I wish one day that like I can find something like that. And I wish that for all people. Cause like, you know what I
But you
mean?
wanna do it with the right balance. Like, you wanna do it while still being able to pour into your relationship, have a family, buy a house,
Of
enjoy the
course.
house.
Of course.
I see what you're saying. I think that's a good kind of message to land on is for any 20-something-year-old that's out there that's listening to this, it's I think that there's a couple takeaways. I think the first thing is it's okay to dream and it's okay to be hungry and don't lose that dream and lose that hunger. But the key to finding happiness within that is being realistic with yourself and realistic with like what you want, but also being realistic with what you're capable of. Burnout is real, especially in your 20s, because we get so fixated on grinding on that hamster wheel to the point where we get tired and we overwork ourselves. And so it's finding that right balance. But I think the other thing is too, it's like be patient and have grace with yourself. My mentor who's turning 29 who turned 29 said that in the last episode was like you have to learn how to give yourself grace and just be nicer to yourself and just like hey, like things change. You change throughout the course of your 20s and it's okay to level set either with yourself or with your partner or with whoever you need to level set with and be okay with like hey, the dream has changed. Like for me, if you told me tomorrow that there's an offer letter for me to go be president of the United States, I will literally crumple up the paper, burn it, and then like ignore you and block you from my life. Like I don't want it. I do not want it. But for the most of my life, like from second grade to or third grade to sophomore year of college, like that was my life. Like I wanted to be president for the of the United States for most of my life. And if you ask me now, I want nothing to do with that. But even smaller, if you ask me 3 years ago, what do you want? I was like, I want to be rich. I want to make $1 million a year. I'm gonna buy this boat. I don't even like boats. I'm gonna buy this car. I don't even like cars. I'm just gonna be you're in my apartment right now. Like I was like, bro, I'm gonna live this life. I'm gonna live this luxury life. And I'm like, I don't need that. And instead of kind of seeing it as a failure point, it's like, oh, like I'm just getting closer to what I actually need and want in life. Like it's not the aspirational, just go be rich with an endless, ceiling. It's more so, cool, what does rich look like for Steven? And, like, I think what kicked off this entire podcast was I was literally scrolling on TikTok, and I saw somebody it was a TikTok of, like, a family, a happy family, and in the comment section, it was like, "Dude, like, you're so rich." And I was like, I don't think I ever saw that definition of rich, and I was like, that is interesting. And so as I now define like what is rich for me, it's like I still love my expensive stuff, don't get me wrong. Like I love my Supreme jackets and things like that, but like I think I'm more realistic with that aspect of my life and wanting to also prioritize having love. Like, I'm a lover boy at heart. Like, I love people. I love my family. When I'm in love, I love my partner, and that is what fuels me. And I need that to be Steven. And so for me, rich is monetarily here instead of here, but rich is also love here instead of here. And so that's just kind of for me, my kind of journey in my 20s right now is like finding balance. But to your point, like you never find balance. So like I think my other mentor said it's not finding balance, but it's finding harmony. And you think about like scales, like it's not like with balance, if you think about a balance, it's two sides. Like it's like 50-50 and you want to find 50-50. But with harmony, it could be five or six different variables and it's like 70, 15, 5, 3, and it shifts throughout the course of your life. At some points, you may do 30, 20 here. And so
Look,
I
my
think
my man's Zen, but I don't agree with that at all.
interesting.
I don't. Because like, hear me out. What I'm trying to do now is build a safety net, right? It maybe the way to think about it is like needs versus wants. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that I can live a comfortable life, right? I've established that, right? If I continue the course, I've established that. Now I know that I won't be a quote unquote like bum, right? I can be happy with where I'm at, but there's still aspirations, right? And so, and maybe that's what I'm saying is like, sure, there's a balance between it all, but like, I'm a grind until I know where like that minimum for me is of having the minimum of what I want.
100%.
And then there's more. And then that's the grind, bro. And like to be fair, it's hard to say like the partner thing, right? I feel like it's hard for you to give up one and not how let me think about this, man, because that's so hard. It's like here, I got it. If Sherry and I were not aligned, right, and we did not share the same vision, do you think that we'd love each other the same exact amount? And do you think we've made it to where we are today now? I'd say maybe not, right? So is that harmony or is that finding the right person for you? Right? And then here's what I'll say is like now that you're getting older, right? How fast do you give things up to find the right things? Like when do you need to learn to let go so that you don't drag it on and that safety net of where you want to be becomes less achievable? Do you get what I'm saying here? Like,
Yeah. But I think what I was trying to say with the harmony analogy, and I like this conversation because I think when you try to find balance, you're trying to achieve 50, right? Like that is like the target is to find 50 on both sides. I think with harmony is you're finding the right level. Like, is it 70 or is it 71 or is it 73? And to your point, you have to experience the high to understand, okay, like for me, when I sat in that apartment in Atlanta, I was like, this is super nice. Like it was extremely nice, but I was unhappy. Like I was sitting in that apartment by myself alone, sitting on that balcony with that crazy view. And I was like, dog, I've made it in life. But I was unhappy. And I think for New York, for me right now, like I went the complete opposite, at least for me. It's like I know what my bare minimum was, but I was like, I never stayed in a studio apartment. Let's go see. And like I now know like I need a little bit higher than that. So I need to grind a little bit to like have to be able to afford a one bedroom in New York. And so it's like, but that requires like it doesn't require me to be as hungry as I did to go stay in a that nice apartment in Atlanta. It just requires me to do maybe 43 in terms of level of grind because I know based on my skill set, based on my experiences that I can make a certain amount of money and that's kind of where I'm comfortable at. And then now I can reinvest that extra amount of energy and time into things that I'm actually passionate about or things that I want to do in my life, like build a family, find a wife, and like get married
I've heard,
and
man,
enjoy life.
I hear you, but like fundamentally for me, it feels wrong to say that you have to sacrifice your love, right? And maybe that's a level setting that I haven't gotten to yet, right?
I guess to push back on that is when you and Sherry sacrifice, like when you and Sherry accept. that you have to go travel or she has to go travel or you guys both have to go travel when in reality both of you guys just want to spend time with each other. Is that not a sacrifice to your love? Like, it's not like a full sacrifice because when you think about it in a balance standpoint, it's not like I'm sacrificing and not giving love. It's more so I'm just having in this moment in our life to for us to get to where we want. I just am giving less love than I want to or that I can right now. And that's okay because in this period of my life, I just can like we both can just give this amount. Like it's 15 right now. But it's like in
Word.
5 years from now when you have a kid, it's 30 because you need to raise your kid. And so
All right,
I
look,
think that is like finding harmony means is like finding the right scale of what you need at that point in life for whatever levers that you have.
you might have gotten me there. But so again, this is why I highlight the importance of being aligned and acknowledging, right? I'm gonna flip it back to you, bro. In your situation, right? You were uncompromising of your love. Bro, you're a lover boy, right? And like I'm a romantic inside too, so I understand that. Like in theory and in practice, like I'm not gonna compromise that. And I feel like you did the same exact thing where you weren't gonna compromise it either, or you tried not to compromise it, right?
But I think the reason why I actually love that you asked this question. When you first met me, I was uncompromising of my love to my
Yeah.
ex at the time. I was like, my manager at the time, my first ever manager, literally called me crazy and was like, because I was told him, I was like, if my girl wanted me to leave this job because she felt like I wasn't home enough, I would leave. I got what I needed out of it. And like that was huge for me, you know, because the job meant everything in the sense that like, I made it in life. I was making six figures, like at 22, life was good, but I was uncompromising for my love. Then flash forward 2 years later, after into the job, had you asked me, you know, to leave the job, I was like, no, I'm good at this job, and getting hella opportunities. And like that's when I had the conversation with her, like right before we broke up, of like, I don't think I can give you more. Cause I think at that time, I was trying to find balance. I was like, oh, I have to either give 100 to this or 100 to this, or I can try to do 50-50, but I can't give 50-50 because like it's never 50-50. And I think what I wish I had told myself in that moment is like, just have the conversation was like, I can't give you more right now instead of blanketly saying, I can't give you more than what I'm giving you right now. Because then it is a backwards of you used to give me 100 and now you give me 0 and you're telling me you can't give me more. And it's like you just have to level set. I think that's exactly to your point. Like you have to find a partner that you're willing to that's willing to realign with you and get realignment. Like cars need realignment every two oil changes. Like as human beings, like we also have to get alignment as well. Like we have to like reset and communicate as such, but that's also on us to communicate. Like, hey, like, it's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't want to give you 100. You've seen my ability to give you 100. It's just more so that in this moment, for us to get to where we want to get to, and that is another question of itself of like, where do we want to get to together?
Yeah.
I need to grind because people text me all the times like, bro, like, you know, you're doing this to yourself. Like, you don't have to stay here. Like, you don't have to work to 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, I do if I want to get to where I want to get to. And I think that was the disconnect between my ex and I was like, you know, I wanted more and I think she was happy with where she was and like nothing against it. It's just we wanted different things and I wish we just had communicated a little bit better of just like for maybe the next 2 years, let's just grind it out. Like until I make AP, which, you know, I don't think that's going to be my goal anymore, but I think it's just level setting. And I think that's where the harmony thing comes in. I think that's what you need to do in different stages in your life, especially in your 20s, is reevaluating where you are and asking yourself the hard questions of what makes me happy right now. And I'll reevaluate it when it no longer makes me happy. And like, at a very small scale example, I've told you this. I started off with like small things. Like if I wanted a Capri Sun in the moment, I was like, let me just get a Capri Sun. It
Yeah.
made me happy for like 30 seconds. And I was like, this stuff is disgusting. And I threw it away. I think that is life. You have to try things or you have to get to a certain level and realize this isn't what makes me happy. But then you're one step closer to actually what is happiness. But I think that is the goal. The goal is not to chase fame and fortune. The goal is to seek happiness. and define what happiness is for you. Sorry, I kinda got on a soapbox for a second there.
No, man, like, I'm just trying to like, I agree, right? Like, you gotta define your own happiness, and everyone's is gonna be different, and you have to make sacrifices to get there. Now, that's the hard part, right? Is, like, what sacrifices are actually like, worth making? And to be honest, fam, if I know she's the one, maybe the job is the sacrifice, right? And like, bro, you hold on, no, 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 no. I'm gonna call you out, bro, because there was one point in time that you did call me, and you're like, dude, I'm not gonna Voldemort more than work, right? And so, like, I don't know, man. It's hard. It's again, it's
But
just
it changes, like, I agree.
does
There
it?
was a point in time where I was like, I loved She Who Shall Not Be Named. I don't like calling her Voldemort. Let's just level set, I don't think she was an evil person at all.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think at that time, like, I did. I was not willing to sacrifice that, and at some point, I let the fortune and the bouginess, the JWs and the Ritzes and the Four Seasons get my life caught up of, like, I like this lifestyle, like, it sucks. I'm working at 2, 3 AM every morning, but, like, I like the bouginess. I like being able to go buy whatever I want and eat whatever I want, and, like, it's different, but I think in that point in time, I just needed to experience it, and now that I've experienced it, I realize, like, there's some of it that I don't need. I don't need to, you know, eat willy-nilly all the time, like, maybe you should cook. But if I cook, I want a nice kitchen. And so it's like just finding a right balance of, you know, I don't need to DoorDash every day. Maybe I DoorDash every other day and I cook every other day. But it's like that is the harmony in the sense of like that requires me to work a little hard, but not too hard, but also invest in myself in my time.
So to your point, man, I think the stage I'm at in my life right now is realizing like it's like the shit moment of I need to find quickly what to prioritize and what to not. Right, because like, it's getting real, and that's hard, man, and I don't think people come like, bro, people go through midlife crises all the time, like, "What am I doing in life?" In, like, I dude, a
Well,
quarter
we're having this crisis now.
this is like a quarter life crisis, man, like, it's just I'm starting to give things up, and I'm starting to realize that certain things maybe not are achievable, right, or maybe attainable, and, like, I just have to get over that fact and hope for the best, but make sure I'm set. Like, I don't
In the interest of time, that I think that's a perfect segue. And the final two questions that I ask all my guests is the first question, if you could talk to 20-year-old Toki right now, you were at Wake Forest, while you're not in a frat, you were the frat guy that everyone knew, you were the life of the party. What would you tell 20-year-old Toki?
man, that's here's another thing, Steven. I love my life in the fact that, like, again, I was extremely lucky. Like, the job that we had was, I think, the only offer that I actually had coming out of college.
Which is huge.
And, bro, I didn't even know who they were when I was applying at the time, right? So it's like a lot of things worked out for me, and I'm blessed about that. If nothing changed and I am where I am today, I'd say just do what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, there's been a lot of stupid things I've done in my life, but I've learned from that, right? And I've experienced those things, and I'm happy for it because that is what was able to make me who I am today. So if I were to look back, I'd be like, don't do anything. Like, just live your life, do what you're doing. Like, you're gonna be good. Now, like, when I'm 40, I have no idea, bro. Like, maybe I might regret a lot of the things, but like, and if I was in a different situation today, that this conversation would also be completely different, right? But like, I lucked out. I was blessed with a lot of things, a lot of people. I'd say nothing, man. Like, I've enjoyed. Not everything's been pretty, man, but like I've enjoyed my experiences, and I'm happy that they've shaped me into who I am now.
That's real. That's a really good answer. And my final question is, what is your 20s tip or tips to the 20-something-year-old that's listening to this who may relate to your story, may, you know, relate to what you've been sharing, or to anyone that is going through their 20-something, like what are some tips or the tip that you would give to get through your 20s?
Man, I don't think I'm in a position to say, to be extremely.
I think you sell yourself short.
Ooh, I mean, like,
you can't say, "Oh, I'm happy with where I've been," and not have at least 1 or 2 pieces of advice of, like, how you've
Got you.
achieved the things that you have achieved. Like, I think you sell yourself short, man.
I got you. I got you. Number one, I think this is just like best practice. Like, make sure you're financially like good. Get a Roth IRA, do a 401k, have an emergency account, whatever, man. Because like, if you're going to fuck up now. Like, now is the time to mess around and find out. You know what I mean? But do that smartly. Like, people do that. Like, you can do that in a smart manner. Like, you don't have to be stupid about it and blow everything, right? Just have something there so that you set yourself up for the future, right? I think that's number one. And that's what I'm doing now, right? Is just like establishing a safety net in case something goes wrong, right? Because people say life is short, man, but life is also long. Like, oh, there's a lot of time left, and there's a lot of life to live. And like, if I'm not set now, like, it's gonna be harder. Like, I just want my life to be easier, right? That's number one. Um, Number two, and I think this is more so just like the type of person I am, is just stop giving a fuck. Like, I just don't care as much. I'm just talking about like, I don't care what people think about me in most terms, right? Like, you can think I'm weird, that's cool. I don't care, right? Like, people have opinions about me, sure, whatever. Like, just live your life. You know what? Like, the people that surround you will like you more for who you are. You'll have the right people around you. You'll be doing things that you like. You'll be doing the things that you want, hopefully. But like, just stop caring, man. Like, it's such an easier way to live. Like, yeah, I guess. Like, yeah, that's it.
And you said you didn't have anything. No, I think those are 2 really good pieces of advice. I wanted to say thank you for doing this, and I'm proud of you always. I think it's been admirable to just kinda see what you've accomplished and just kind of I think you sell yourself short sometimes, but I think if you just kind of I hope one day you just, look back and either you look at your resume the next time and just like, "Wow, like, I've really done a lot for myself," of especially coming where I've come from, and so, you and I both know kind of what that means, but I'm proud of you, dog, and I know, you know, with that hunger in you, like, I'm just excited to see where you accomplish, but I'm also I think hearing you talk about Sherry, this is probably the first time I heard you, like, really get sappy and talk about it, and so I'm excited for that future of y'all for y'all and, like, wherever that may be, whether that's a wedding or a baby shower, I don't know, like, we're getting old. But no, I'm happy for you, and I'm proud of you, dog. You know, we'll continue to support you and be here for you. So, yeah. Any last words for the the audience?
Nah, man, appreciate you. It's all love, man.
For sure. No, I appreciate it. So, thank you guys for listening to this episode. Like I said, for the rest of the year, we'll be dropping an episode every single Saturday for the rest of the year. Full episodes can be found on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok to keep updated with, the latest episode at 20s.inprogress. Yeah, thank you guys. Love you guys. Peace out.